first time viewer, welcome back. If you are a returning viewer, thank you for your likes, your comments, your subscribes, and to those of you who have booked a personal reading with me. Please keep in mind that these are general messages, so do not take them personally. Take the messages that resonate and leave the rest behind. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, you can find the information in the description box below. So the message that I received today is regarding the energy surrounding transformation, right? So death and rebirth is just the growth and expansion from one form of existence into another. It multiplies our existence. It doesn't diminish it. Whether that be mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically, to transform from one state of being to another is to create and further develop the identity of who we are within a specific state of being, right? So when you transform from one state of being from another, right, growing within a specific area, it doesn't mean that you are losing a sense of self-identity, right? But you are more so defining who you are within a more specific manner, right? So let's pull some cards to see what messages come out regarding this message. What message do you have for the collective at this time? Help me to articulate a clear and concise message in order for it to be received in the way that you want it to best be received. Help me to see what it is that I need to see to get the message across as clear as possible. And help me to deliver any messages that you deem worthy in order to serve your highest good, for the highest good of humanity with harm to none. What messages do you have for the collective at this time? What messages do you have for the collective at this time? Okay, so you have intuition, pleasure, and miracles with wounded healer at the bottom of the deck, right? So definitely shaping yourself or molding yourself or recreating your sense of self-identity, right, in order to fit what it is that you truly desire. Taking the steps where you feel called, right, intuitively, so that you are able to receive the desires and the openness that you are seeking, right? So when you step into this energy of transformation, it opens you up. It expands you, right? It gives you a wider sense of perspective. It gives you a deeper sense of knowledge. It gives you a better sense of understanding and a more intuitive sense of knowing, right? It increases your sense of self-identity, right? It heals you in a sense because it moves you into a place that better suits who you are becoming, right? Or who you are desiring to be, right? So let's pull some tarot to see what messages come out. These cards are so big for my hands. They are so hard to shuffle because they're so big. Clarify miracles. Clarify miracles. So you have judgment at the bottom of the deck. With the Two of Cups, that's the reflection, the sense of self-identity. With the Five of Pentacles, becoming whole, creating who you are, right? It's almost as if you are learning to discern, right? So again, the energy of transformation puts you in a place where it makes you aware of the areas in which you are requiring growth, in which there is a desire that needs to be fulfilled, right? Again, whether that be mentally, emotionally, spiritually, or physically. Maybe there is a skill that you need to learn, or maybe you need to learn how to open up emotionally, or maybe you need to learn how to better connect to your spirit and learn what it is that your intuition sounds and feels like, right? Maybe you need to learn how to expand things within your physical reality, whether that be creating a healthier life style, or however it's going to resonate for you personally. The energy of transformation puts you in a space of self-reflection in the areas in which growth is required, where a desire or fulfillment is needed, right? Because the Judgment card speaks to a sense of fulfillment, right? It speaks to a sense of also discernment and a spiritual purpose, right? So what is it that you are being called to, or what purpose are you being called to fulfill that you're not actually taking steps towards, or is not being fulfilled because of this lack of self-awareness, of this lack of self-knowledge? Or maybe there's an unwillingness to change. Maybe there's an unwillingness to be more open and to be more vulnerable. Maybe there are some areas in which you need to heal spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, that are keeping you stuck within a certain cycle, right? And so when you go through this energy of transformation, initially it's going to feel like a loss because you are learning to gain something, right? So you again have to lose something in order to gain. So say that you are, for example, moving into a new position, right? You're going to lose one title in order to gain another one, right? Maybe you are moving into a new home, right? You're going to lose an apartment to gain a house, right? Again, this is a general message, so take it how it resonates. But the energy of transformation sometimes can feel like the Five of Pentacles. It can sometimes make you feel as if you don't have enough, because it puts you in the space of gaining something else, right? So just be mindful of not feeling so defeated because you have to let go of something in order to grow within a specific area, right? So again, in order to grow your finances, or grow your business, or grow your mindset, or grow your sense of physical health, right? You may have to give up a little bit more of your time, right? You may feel as if you don't have enough time to fit everything in, all the while you are gaining extra resources in many different areas, right? Not just one specific area, but you're giving up your time in order to gain a healthier body, a healthier mind, a healthier spirit, eat healthier foods, develop a healthier schedule, develop, like, you again are, the energy of transformation is letting go or releasing something in order to gain something, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that something is dying, or it doesn't necessarily mean death in the sense of no longer existing. It just means transformation, right? Allowing or creating space for something healthier to grow within its place. Right? I hope that makes sense. Clarify pleasure. Clarify pleasure. The Nine of Wands. Mm-hmm. With the Three of Swords, yeah. You might feel as if you are, with the Two of Pentacles, transformation, alchemy, going from one state of being into another. It's the energy of transformation, moving from one state of being into forming or shaping yourself into another state of being, right? It's reflection, right? It's kind of like the Two of Cups. It's the self-reflection energy, right? It's a mirror. Or not necessarily a mirror, but self-reflection in a sense of transforming, right? How can I put this into words? You may feel as if you are bound by something, right? Something could be, you may feel as if you are unable to fulfill a specific desire because you are still healing from something in your past, right? You may feel fearful, or you may feel hesitant, or maybe you just have a lack of confidence that something will grow because of some sort of pain or dishonor is the word that came to mind that you are feeling within this current moment. So you may feel as if reaching or obtaining this sense of pleasure is not within your reach within this current moment, because currently you're in this Nine of Wands, Three of Swords, right? You're blocking yourself from acknowledging the wounded healer energy. Look, an alchemy underneath, transformation, right? With liberation, you need to free yourself, and you need to free yourself from this Nine of Wands, Three of Swords energy. You need to free yourself from the things that you feel as if are holding you back or are keeping you from achieving this thing that you truly desire, right? You can't have it all at one time. You're going to have to release something. You're going to have to let go of something. You're going to have to heal something, right? You're going to have to acknowledge an area of growth that is required in order for you to take the shape of what it is that you are desiring to achieve, right? So again, in order to receive something, you're going to have to acknowledge the areas in which you still need healing, acknowledge the areas in which you still feel triggered, acknowledge the areas in which you still feel bound by your pain, bound by your past experiences that may have left you feeling unworthy, undesirable, unfulfilled, may have left you in this energy of heartbreak, right? So you could be stuck in this place of feeling like you have to protect yourself, right, from experiencing this Three of Swords, when in reality, in order to receive the pleasure that you're desiring to achieve, you're going to have to step into the Three of Swords. You're going to have to learn to accept the energy of the Three of Swords, right? Not meaning that you are accepting pain or that you're accepting things that make you feel triggered, but acknowledging them, right? Putting yourself in a space where you are able to be vulnerable, right? That doesn't mean that there is no protection in vulnerability, because vulnerability is strength, right? It's not a weakness. It is openness, but there's also a boundary surrounding it, right? There's also a level of healing surrounding it, because there is an acknowledgement in the areas in which there is a soft spot, right? And acknowledging the areas where there is like an open wound, for lack of a better word, right? So again, in order to receive this pleasure, you're going to have to be willing to accept this Three of Swords, right? So you can't fully, for example, you can't fully experience love if you are reluctant to feel pain, right? Because even within the energy of love, there is pain. You can't expect everybody who brings you love to not also bring you pain. Does that make sense? Right? In a general sense of when you make yourself vulnerable, like nobody's perfect, right? I'm trying to put this into words how I'm sensing it. Nobody's perfect. So when you open yourself up to love, you open yourself up to the energy of loss as well, right? Because at some point you're going to experience the loss of that love in whatever form, right? So instead of completely putting yourself in the energy of solitude, in the energy of greed, you have to open yourself up to the energy of generosity, right? Alchemy, abundance, so that you can fully experience both sides of the tandem, right? You can't have one and not have the other, right? If you want to experience love, you have to be willing to experience loss as well, right? But if you continue to exist completely within this energy of loss by not accepting love, then you're never going to get to experience what love feels like, right? I hope that's making sense. In order to receive abundance, you have to be willing to accept growth, expansion, change, transformation, defeat, death. All of that comes with positivity, right? Currency, it ebbs and flows, right? It comes and it goes. It gives and it receives. There's a equal give and take, right? So in order to experience generosity in its fullness, you have to be willing to accept both sides of the balance beams, right? That's the Two of Pentacles. Look, and the Lovers underneath with the Judgment card is right back. Because there is a purpose within the transformation of experiencing love in its fullness, right? You get to experience the full potential that it has to bring, right? You get to experience everything that you are capable of creating. Whereas if you remain in this energy of solitude, if you remain in this energy of defensiveness, or if you remain in this energy of hesitation to experience loss in some sense of form, right? Then you'll never create life with the potential that you were given to create, right? You'll never get to give birth to all of the things that are waiting on the other side of abundance, right? You'll never get to experience abundance within its fullness. You'll only be stuck within the parameters of what you have, within the parameters of greed, whatever it is that you are able to carry within yourself, right? Whereas opening yourself up on a larger scale gives you the opportunity to create and to experience love in its fullness unconditionally, with purpose, with drive, with it comes with a deeper sense of enlightenment. It comes with a deeper sense of awareness, a stronger sense of self-identity of who you are, right? You get to experience both sides of the coin, right? You get to experience love in its true sense of abundance. That's grace, that's patience, that's kindness, that's peace, that's harmony, that's serendipity, that is all of the things that come with being bonded or connected to the frequency or the highest frequency of love, right? To the highest frequency of self-identity, self-awareness, being in tune with yourself, being in tune with the things that you're desiring to create, right? The frequency of pleasure, right? All of the dreams and the desires that you wish to bring to life within this reality. Clarify intuition. The Wheel of Fortune. With the Ten of Pentacles. Literally what I just said. With the Page of Cups. Your true heart's desires, your childhood dreams, what it is that you have always felt spiritually connected to, what it is that you feel divinely called to create, right? This is the 10 of Pentacles, and the Wheel of Fortune is God opening up a world of resources for you to obtain, right? But again, you have to be willing to step out of this 9 of Wands energy. You have to be willing to accept healing. You have to be willing to accept acknowledgement in the places in which you feel unfulfilled, acknowledging the places in which you may have felt betrayed emotionally at one point, right? Because again, blocking yourself off from experiencing your emotions, certain mindsets, certain habits, certain addictions, certain lifestyle choices, right? Certain career choices, certain connections or bonds. When you are refusing to release yourself from those things that are keeping you in that space of greed, then you are saying that you don't want to accept the reality of generosity, right? The 10 of Pentacles in the world, an abundance of resources that has the ability to shift your life within a complete 180, right? It goes from negative to positive. It goes from it like the 2 of Pentacles, the 2 of Cups. It shifts from what it is that you envision to manifesting that reality within your physical world, right? You are not only seeing it as a thought, you're not only dreaming it within your dreams, you're not only feeling it or yearning for it within your desires, but you're actually walking in it. You're actually experiencing the abundance. You're actually experiencing the anointing. You're actually experiencing the sense of serendipity where you're just always in the right place at the right time to receive, right? It's a receiving energy. But in order to receive this world of abundance, this life-changing circumstances, this openness, and this legacy that not will only change your life, but will change everybody's life who you come in contact with, you have to be willing to let go of the 9 of Wands and the 3 of Swords. You have to be willing to let go of that stubbornness. You have to be willing to let go of holding on to that sense of betrayal. You have to be willing to let go of that sense of heartache and that fear of being judged for the things that you have overcome, right? You have to be willing to release that idea that you are not worthy of receiving love because you once experienced pain or heartbreak, right? So in order to receive your abundance, you have to let go of holding yourself back. You have to be open, willing to be open and willing to shift, right? All right, so let's pull 4 cards. 1 card for what we can learn as the major lesson. 1 card for what opportunities we can create regarding this message. 1 card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. And 1 card for what new cycles and habits we can innovate so that we can continue our growth and expansion regarding this message. The Wheel of Fortune is a completely new cycle. So whatever it is that you are hesitant to let go of, know that holding on to that the 5 of Pentacles and the 10 of Pentacles, going from lack to abundance. This is a shift within your reality, right? Going from not having enough to having more than enough, right? Going from greed to generosity, right? So if you have not seen that message, there might be a message in there for you. Check it out if you feel called. But again, this is going from the energy of loss, of never having enough, to always experiencing pain, to always being in that sense of victimhood where you feel as if you can never get it right, or people are always taking advantage of you, or you can never seem to make the right choices or the right decisions, or things just never seem to work out in your favor. You have to be willing to shift that cycle, shift that mindset, shift your reality within your actions in order to receive that 10 of Pentacles, in order to receive that energy of always having enough and having more than enough, right? Having enough to not only feed yourself, but to feed those around you, right? Having the ability to not only change your mindset, but to inspire others to change their mindset as well. Not only choosing to eat healthier for yourself, but inspiring others around you to eat healthier for themselves, right? To eat more organic fruits and vegetables, right? To eat less processed foods. Not only inspiring yourself to get up and be more active physically, but also inspiring others around you to be more active within the gym or in nature or within their career, right? It's you going from, again, not having enough to having more than enough, from being in the victim place to taking ownership of your own choices, of your own resources, of your own decisions, of your own actions, right? You are the driver of your own reality. And so in order to receive the abundance that is there for you, you have to accept the energy of generosity. You have, again, look at the balance in this energy, right? The 5 of Pentacles, Wheel of Fortune, and the 10 of Pentacles. There is a shift, right? This is you in solitude and the energy of greed versus you choosing to accept vulnerability, you choosing to accept the possibility of loss, right? Not saying that you will experience loss, but accepting the possibility will open you up to more, right? I'm hoping that's making sense in the way that it's coming through. Just because the possibility exists, that doesn't mean that you will experience it, right? I mean, at some point, everybody experiences loss within some way because transformation, right? The tree that creates the fruit, people pick those fruits, right? So they experience loss in some way, but they also grow more, right? So in order to put yourself in that space of vulnerability, you have to be willing to and able to fully receive abundance in its complete and entire fullness, in its fullest potential. Again, you have to be willing to lose something in some sort of way. Maybe you're losing your sense of solitude, right? Maybe you're going from being in the energy of solitude and independence to creating a family. I don't know. This is a general message, so take it how it resonates. But again, you have to, in order to create a family, you have to give up your sense of solitude to some degree. That doesn't mean that you will never experience being by yourself, but there will be less of it. Does that make sense? Because you will gain more. Does that make sense? One card for what we can learn regarding the major lesson of this message. Adversity. That card has been coming up with friendship at the bottom of the deck, right? So again, learning how to accept certain challenges, learning how to accept certain areas of growth within the connections that you have formed, right? Not necessarily connections towards people, although it may apply to you within that way. But sometimes it's a connection to food. Sometimes it's a connection to your mental health. Sometimes it's a connection to your emotional health, right? It's a general message. So take it how it resonates. But again, learning to accept the challenges of growth into the things that you are bonded to the things that you are connected to the things that you are committed to, right? Because when you commit yourself to something, it comes with challenges of growth. It comes with challenges of expansion. It comes with challenges of creating a new sense of self. It comes with challenges of being more aware of self within different areas and different aspects that you may not have been aware of if you did not have that reflection looking back at you, right? So sometimes we have to put ourselves in situations that exist outside of that energy of solitude so that we are able to see ourselves in a different light, right? One card for what we can create regarding the opportunities surrounding this message. Transformation is growth, right? So don't necessarily look at change as death, right? Because even with death comes rebirth. Nothing dies without something growing in its place. One card for what we can create. Service, peace. You can create the opportunity of openness. You can create the opportunity of vulnerability, of making yourself more accessible, making yourself more open, right? Open to receiving new perspectives, open to receiving new habits, open to releasing certain addictions, open to experiencing new adventures or new opportunities, right? So creating a sense of vulnerability within yourself, within the world around you, right? So that you are able to experience life in a more fulfilling manner, right? So again, it may feel like you're losing time. It may feel like you're losing your sense of peace, but you're not. You're gaining more resources. So even if it's almost as if having an abundance of time or having one source of abundance is not equivalent to having an equal balance of abundance in various areas, right? So say for instance, you are a millionaire, right? But you don't have a sense of peace. You don't have any time to spend your money. You don't have anybody to share your money with. You don't have an opportunity to experience new adventures or new places or new habits, because all you have is abundance in that one form, versus having an equal balance of abundance in multiple areas, right? That is true wealth. True wealth is having a balance of abundance in various areas versus having an overabundance in one specific area. That's not wealth, right? If you have an abundance of simply money, if you have an abundance of simply time, if you have an abundance of just your peace of mind, you're not bringing in wealth, or you're not creating wealth, or you're not receiving a resource from any other areas. So you can have your peace of mind, but you don't have a job to go to. You have all the time in the world, but you don't have nobody to spend your time with. You don't have anybody to share your time with because everybody else is at work, right? You can have, or you have so much time that you don't have any money because you're not using that time, or you're not spending that time to put it in other places to gain more resources, right? So again, wealth is having a balance of resources in multiple areas, right? An abundance of resources in various areas versus having one specific resources in an unlimited amount, right? That's not true wealth. So again, creating an opportunity where you're able to open yourself up to receive multiple areas of resources, right? So that you're able to continuously generate and circulate more resources in various areas so that you can share that wealth, right? I hope that makes sense how it's coming through. One card for what we can meditate as the focus of this message. One card for what we can meditate on as the focus of this message. One card. Surrender. Right. With loneliness, that's solitude energy. Letting go. Opening yourself up. This is the Five of Pentacles energy, and this is the world energy, right? Letting go. Surrendering. Letting yourself be open and willing to receive more, right? In order to receive more, again, you have to let go of something. It's time to transform. It's time to change. The energy is telling you it's time to change. It's time to move forward. It's time to grow, right? It's time to, the universe, God, the Most High wants to give you more. But in order for you to receive more, you have to stop holding on to what it is that you already have out of fear of not having enough, right? You have to be willing to drop what it is that you are holding on to so that you're able to free your hands to receive more, right? Open yourself up. Accept the level of vulnerability that you're being called to achieve, right? Step out of this energy of solitude. If you have to give up a little bit of your, I don't know, it's going to resonate for each of you differently, but this is letting go of that energy of greed. so that you have the ability to exist and create the flow within generosity, right? Definitely check out that last message. There may be a message in there for you. One card for what we can innovate regarding our cycle, regarding our habits. Judgment came back out, and worry with pride. So, right. Innovating new ways to strengthen your sense of discernment, right? This is giving like 9 of Wands energy, fear of letting go, holding on to something so tightly because you are not able to discern what it is that you are going to gain, right? Sometimes you're not aware of what it is that you're going to receive until you open yourself up to let go, until you open yourself up into that space of change. You can't always know what's next without first completing a cycle, right? You can't open one door without first closing another. You can't step into a new position without, or you can't step into a new career choice without first leaving the one that you're already in, right? You can't exist within 2 worlds at one time. You have to choose, right? Or not necessarily choose, but you have to be open enough to trust that where you're going is more abundant and more worthy than where you have been, right? Trust that you have already learned the lessons that you were meant to learn within that cycle. Trust that you have already received, or you have already tapped out all of the resources that were available within that specific cycle. And now it's time for you to tap into something that is more abundant, right? It's time for you to have that sense of courage. Time for you to have that sense of self-confidence and trust within your intuition that you will still be able to fulfill your purpose. You will still be able to fulfill your desires. You will still be able to have your sense of self-identity, right? But again, you have to have the faith. Look, purpose underneath pride. I'm not making this up, y'all. Trust that you are being led in the direction that you're meant to go, right? Nobody is trying to lead you astray. God is not trying to lead you astray. He's trying to lead you to your abundance. So trust that letting go is not going to leave you in a deficit. It's going to open you up to more, right? But that is the message that I have for you guys. I hope that it resonated. I know that if you made it to the end of this video, you have found something in it that is worthy and valuable to you. Have a good one. Bye.